today. Super fun. Super fun. It's the song I'm working on.
You could be a jingle maker.
Mm-hmm. Venus
Jingles.
conjunct Chiron. Believe in yourself. It's a work in progress, but it's getting there. It looks like we're live.
Yeah, we're live.
Okay, so I'm before we go live, guys, I'm gonna tell all of my deepest secrets. Okay, so I'm just
Word.
Okay, how do I do? Oh, there it is, the chat. I'm like, where the fuck is it? Okay, here we go.
The chat was inside you the whole time, Ari.
All right, there it is. I put the live thingamajigger.
StariAri Toltec Shaman.
Okay, we gotta share this. Share, guys. Share it.
Oh, we're gonna share, all right.
All right, Esco, I'm gonna send you this weekly right now. Appreciate you. Shoot.
Hey, did you do a post for the live on Instagram, on your Instagram page? Your Facebook story?
Mute that, you guys. Mute it.
Yeah. For the Triforce.
Wasn't me.
No, I shared it.
Oh, do you want to do a post on your Instagram, probably?
Sure.
Instagram story, so then it goes to the Facebook story too.
Okay, we're just waiting for people to show up. If I were watching. Hey, 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 hey.
We got people watching.
Say hi, everyone.
Hola.
I don't know how
Hello,
to.
everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, guys. How's it going?
I am with the click.
You're what?
Oh, I'm with the
What's going on?
I found the click. Yes.
Oh. Never mind.
It took forever, but I found it. Yeah.
That was way different.
Like, I'm not even gonna.
I was like, this is something that we need to talk about after the show.
You're that dad, like, honey, we're gonna talk about this later.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
This sport.
I'm gonna tell you about the birds and the bees.
Treasure maps. Hey there, treasure maps. That's a cool name.
Happy weekend, guys.
Happy weekend indeed. Venus is conjunct Chiron, so it's time for all the good stuff to come out.
Oh my God.
All the secrets.
All the things that have been buried. How's it going, Lisa?
Clickety click. Like trying to post things here. All right. There we go. Okay, so how's everyone?
I am doing amazing. How are you doing, Michael?
Dealing with the consequences of my lack of focus as a Gemini. But other than that, I really can't complain.
You don't have a lack of focus. You have an abundance of focus on lots of things.
That I do. I just need to actually use it.
Yep.
Yeah. That's what happens with mutable signs. We have to get motivated.
That's why I'm here to be cardinal.
Oh, snap. Yeah, y'all come with the inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I know sometimes I put off doing work, like schoolwork. I'm just like, I'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's basically been me all week. Well, not with work, but like schoolwork.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, that's why for me, I developed this strategy where if I just don't go to school, I'll never have homework. So
See, that's
there won't be
genius.
any to do.
That's perfect.
It's this thing I've been working on recently.
That's it. That's really what's it.
Can't have responsibilities if you avoid them.
Right. I think
Word.
I think more or less me and Mike, because we're both really about like wanting a challenge in higher learning, even though when we are doing it, we're like, fuck this. We still have like this want to do it, like prove ourselves wrong or prove someone wrong, you know, things like that.
Yeah.
It's just like fuck you, I could do this, you know.
I've had 2 invites recently to go to college where people are like, yeah, I could totally, you know, like you could get into this place, you could do a poetry degree or something like that. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know if they didn't like me in college very much because I kept breaking all the poetry rules, which by the way, there are poetry rules.
Yeah.
Wow.
Taken very seriously.
Yeah, they
I
are.
was
No idea.
considered the like rebel of the poetry community. So that's about as hardcore as it sounds.
The rebel of the poetry. You'd be.
I wrote abstract poetry, and everyone, the current modern aesthetic is like, you write concrete. You do not.
Ah, that's
And I'd be
hilarious.
like, but I must, you know. So I did. And
You'd
then
fit right in with the rebels.
There was one
UNLV
teacher
rebels.
who was like, the way you write poetry is basically like flipping off your reader, and I'm like,
That's hilarious.
okay, well that's funny. 'Cause
That's how poetry should be.
Yeah, just, like a lot of like I have this English classes like, oh, all of these things that you have to do or learn about like the different methods of writing, and I was just like, who the fuck cares? Like, just write what you think and let it happen.
No.
You know?
That's too free, Ari.
And the teacher's like, no, that's not how it works. It's like there's different categories, and I'm like, no, I don't want to know about these different categories.
Yes, Lisa Gray knows. Same with painting. Yeah, and I took some painting classes while I was there, and I was not a big fan. See, I'm an Aquarius rising, so when you tell me that I have to do something like in a very specific set of rules, I'm like, the first thing my mind does is like, but which of these can be broken? And why are the rules there in the first place? And
Yeah,
should they be
it's always
broken? I
about-
must break them. I was
Now you're
chosen by
thinking
God to
like a
break them.
Uranian.
You know, like it just escalates really fast.
It's
Are you-
always like that.
Is your sun and moon like in the second decan?
Third, yeah. Sun,
They're-
Moon, Mercury, Venus, tightly conjunct, and third decan, 8th house Libra.
They're all third decan? Oh shit.
So
Wow. That's gang gang for real.
that's exactly what I was saying. The first time I saw it, I was like, gang, gang. Because
Damn.
You know how
Holy
shocked I
shit.
was when Mr.
Oh my god.
Jax here was like, hey, can I put my music on? And I was like, yeah. I was expecting like classic rock or some type of like alternative music, you know, and then all of a sudden it's like this crazy rap. I was like, oh shit,
I only
like
listen to the
fucking
good-
underground
listen
stuff,
to
and I'm
the
like,
good.
oh my god.
The good-ish.
I only listen to stuff that you can't play in front of children, essentially.
Yes.
The good
If I-
shit.
if I had to narrow it down to the genre.
Oh god. That's amazing.
So everyone who's watching, everyone who's going to be joining us, we'll be saying this a million times throughout the video. We are doing some readings today, some paid readings we have the Triforce 1-card pool where me, Ari, and Michael, all three of us will be drawing 1 card and giving you a reading on whatever it is that's your choice. We also have the 3-card pull where all three of us pull 3 cards. And so we go in depth on what it is you're going through right now. So we've got links there in the comments to purchase a reading. It'll be at jackslannis.com/livestream. And yeah, we actually have someone coming up first. The first person to book was Micra Vinity. Before we get started with Micra Vinity's reading though, Micra, if you can post in the comments what your question was, if there's a question or if you want it to be general. I was thinking, you guys, why don't we do a quick collective reading just for everybody, just to get it started?
Maybe for like
Genius.
the energies of this coming week or something.
I
Sure.
like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, because there's a lot of shit happening.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Great idea.
All right, so you go ahead and start if you want, Mr.
I
Jack.
would love to, absolutely. And so let's go ahead and do this collective reading and just see what it is that comes up for this upcoming week. Okay, so first thing, picking up, we are going to be facing our fears. It's up to us if that's going to be like effective and if it works out for us or not, if we really face them with like courage. But the thing is, we don't have to do this gracefully. We just have to face our fears as they're appearing. But the thing is, I'm feeling there's all this like past energy that's here this week. So it's going to be people reaching out from a long time ago, you having thoughts and nostalgic memories all of a sudden of things that happened in childhood, and you're going to have to face what presently is being affected by that. So even if you've gotten over like a bad relationship or you've gotten over a really horrible trauma that happened in your life, now is going to be the time to face it head on and make peace with it and then start moving on. Because if you don't, it feels like this next week, because this week basically feels like it's going to be like 9 of Swords. Face your fears, otherwise anxiety and sleep loss and all these different things. And there's that whole dark spiral we go down if we refuse to look at it, if we try and just keep looking away from what the issue is. So facing our fears, otherwise next week feels like it's going to be very 10 of Swords, and it feels like it's going to be essentially, a really easy time for us if we faced it and we just have to get down to brass tacks and figure out what the next journey is. Or if we didn't face it, it feels like it's going to be consequences from not facing our fears. So no matter how bad it feels, no matter how scary it is to face your fears, sometimes the consequences of avoiding them are a million times worse. So I think it'd be a really good thing this upcoming week to just let ourselves face it and understand it doesn't have to be perfect. We're going to make mistakes. That's fine. But just be real and look at it directly in the eyes.
Yeah. So what I got was I pulled Seeds of Polarity. Perfect. So when we are incarnated here, and this is just my belief system, we choose to come here to learn. This is a schoolhouse of the soul. This is what we asked ourselves, especially when it comes to growth, how to manage that, or how to actually engulf ourselves into the polarity, into the polarized energies here in order for us to learn something about ourselves. So that's the same thing that Jax was kind of describing, where like you have to face your fear. So you have to, if you are in fear of being by yourself and analyzing yourself or asking yourself all these questions about like the past, especially if you're still hung up on it, you have to face that this week. It feels like there is definitely a breakthrough that's going to happen when you start to ask yourself like, well, I really wish that I was here, but I'm stuck here because of the past, and so that's how you can start to solve those issues within internally, of course, and then take the proper steps towards moving away from that problem into something more, I would say, reflective of where you want to go. And so it's like kind of like that's what the soul's here. The soul's purpose is to learn to overcome their own adversities, and as well as to teach others. Like, for example, if you have a situation where you had issues with your family members, like maybe you don't feel like you're a part of the family, right? Like you feel like the black sheep, things like that. Where did that come from? Ask the questions like, who made you feel like that? Who made you feel like the outsider in your family? Who made you feel like you were not worthy to be involved with your family? Who made you feel that way? And it's usually going to come back to inner child stuff, and so that's why it's important to face our fears through working on ourselves, not necessarily to confront people, but more of like internal dialogue, confronting ourselves. So that we can move on with trying to make the changes that we really, really want in our lives. So that's what I got.
I'll be right back in just one moment.
I'm picking up for sure taking established knowledge, downloads that you've come into, and a whole host of synchronicities that you have come into experiencing and seeing them in a completely new way and seeing it in a different way and revisiting stuff that you thought you knew because now so many of you are more mature and it's like you've recently broken through many times, and this is going to once again take long held assumptions and just have you look at it with just a wiser insight and a deeper knowing. So this might take some of y'all surprise every day this week too, because it's not going to be in the big things. It's going to be in the little things that just kind of pull out to you like, oh snap, like I've been friends with this person for so long, but now that I understand more what my friend represents, it's like it's gonna feel like it's been in front of your face the whole time, but your eyes were blind to it until now. So you do have focus on your strengths with Apollo, and also yes with Ganesh, but I'm definitely gonna stick with Apollo here. Um, Focus on your strengths as far as what especially comes up this week that you find you're really good at, because you'll definitely see into your own strengths differently too. Um, and once again, it's just like a small shift. Like it's not like the biggest realization, but it's like, oh wow, like I could do this more, or I could take this direction different. So enjoy.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I only caught the last part, but the rest of it I feel was perfect.
Yeah. No, mainly the first part was just talking about you're gonna look at things differently. Like everything that you've known, everything you've downloaded, you're gonna see it way differently now with deeper understanding. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yep. All right. So you guys want to start our reading?
I guess so. I guess it's readings time. So, Micra, I guess all over. I am ready to take the bull by its horns. All right. Well, that's the perfect attitude. Let's take the bull by its horns. We have several other people that are in line. After Micra, we've got, we have Angie, we've got Michelle, and we've got Kristen. So, anyone else that grabs one, you will be on the list directly after them. And if you can just, anyone else who's gotten one, just go ahead and post your question you have in the comments, or unless it's, of course, it's a general, and we will get to it. So Micra, let's take a look at you. Let's see what wants to come up for you.
Wait a minute. Oh, okay.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So,
Oh shit, what's going on?
yeah, no, oh yeah, there's Jesus. Okay, so
Oh,
here's
he
the
said the
deal.
J word. He said the J word,
Jesus,
guys.
come help. Just kidding.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus is like, what's up?
Yeah, he appears.
Who called me?
Jesus,
I think
take
he'd be so cool. So
That'll be 50
Four of
bucks.
Cups. So right away, just so you know, right now, this place that you're in of looking for an even better opportunity, looking for something out there right now, and it almost feels as though there's like the real world and then there's this dream off in the distance. That dream can definitely become part of your reality. You have to fully accept that this is going to happen, though. And the reason I say that is because Nine of Cups is crystal clear. You are in the law of attraction place in your life right now. You are in the place of converting dreams into reality, to making these things exist through the manifestation of your spirit, but being 100% aligned with what it is you want to do. So if there's any part of you that is using any kind of negative self-talk or any kind of negative framing about what it is you're capable of, or where it is you're going, the Nine of Cups is basically saying that has to be totally released. You have to step into this in a state of bliss right now, especially with some of the huge projects you're about to start creating. The Tower card is basically suggesting that this is the end result, that you can destroy this previous tower of your expectations, and you can be the lightning bolt that totally crushes it. And then of course you can start to rebuild. You can rebuild this new life that comes from new thought forms, new paradigms. And it's very purple and very gold, so there's a lot of third eye and solar plexus energy. To me, this is crystal clear that this is about confidence in the utilization of your psychic abilities, and it's about just stepping in a purely emotional place, like all your positive emotions, letting them be your power, because there's no way to outthink some of these challenges that are coming up for you. Like, they're just too big of challenges, but you can absolutely use your feelings as your power and you can overcome them, no doubt. So that's what I'm picking up.
Awesome. Okay, so I kind of got a similar card that you did in your deck, so that's pretty cool. All right, so the first one that I got for you is the Three of Ariel, which is the equivalent to the Three of Pentacles. So this is all about actually kind of getting organized as to what you really want your career or business to look like. It feels like it's time for you to finally make a plan on how that's gonna happen, who you have to talk to for advice regarding like marketing strategy, kind of like building an actual physical business as well. Like, it feels like there's like physicality coming in because of the pentacles. It feels like this has to come into fruition in the physical realm. It's good that you have things online, but it has to be physical. Like, they're kind of they're kind of like strategy. Like, the strategy is making this physical, making clients physical, making it like you have hands on with people, you have face to faces like with people, things like that, because this is going to elevate your kind of like your gifts as well as your community. Like, it feels like all of that is going to shift, and it's necessary. Like, it feels like it's definitely the community that needs someone like you to assist with a shift, okay, there physically. So definitely working with others, definitely working in kind of like a permanent area where you have your own business, your like own shop or something, and just having clients come in. Like, you could start off with just like seeing clients in their home, or bringing them, if you're comfortable, to your home. But it feels like it's shifting in that direction, because the energies of where you're projected to go, because I'm seeing a projection of you leaving, are definitely needing that there. Okay. The next one that I got for you is the Knight of Raphael, which is the equivalent of the Knight of Cups. So this is all about, again, commitments, making sure that you have a plan set up. Also, like, kind of like situations and topics that have to do with your family, having like releasing that fear of not having enough is important, as well as trusting that what you're doing for them is going to be like, it's going to be successful. Okay, because you guys want, it's like a movement forward. You guys all want to get out of where you're at, and you want to go to a place that is more harmonious for all of you guys. And there's just this fear within you that might not be accomplished in the timeline that you had. Don't be too rigid with the timeline either. Okay, make sure that you allow yourself leeway of planning, as well as taking the proper steps towards getting there. Okay. The next one I got is your end result, or 10 of Raphael. And so this is the 10 of Cups, where everything, all of the blessings are coming in for you and your family, because you are taking the time, you are removing and releasing any type of fear or any perceived, I would say, block. I don't like using block, because nobody's really blocked. It's more like it's time for actually making a plan or a strategy, things like that. So everything is going to happen in its own time. Be happy, like, feel the happiness within you already, so that can manifest. Feel that excitement, so that you pull that in already. And so, especially for this full moon, do that. If you really want movement forward, leaving where you're at, going and having a successful business somewhere else, then feel it. Like, like it already happened, okay? And so that's where you're heading because it's already there, of course. You just need to allow it in. So that's what I have for you.
Did she have a specific question?
Just general for life, yeah.
Who is this?
Microvinity.
Microvinity, who are you? What is going on here?
If I'm allowed to say her secret identity, I will. I don't know if she's. Are you cool with that, Microvinity? Can I say who you are?
I didn't even mean like who exactly. I just meant like, who are you? Who are you? Who are you? 'Cause, like,
Yeah.
I got some banging cards for you. I got the Ace of Swords, which the whole underlying theme is like a masterful epiphany. It's like you did all this work around what you were building for yourself, and this last piece of the puzzle is being revealed to you. And literally got the Star, the Nine of Cups, and the Judgment. Are you famous on the low? Like, what's up? What's good, yo? Like, who are you for real? Because this is kind of
Liz.
weird.
Her name is Liz. Her last name is Felix.
Word. Well, we got both of the wish come true, dream come true cards, and then it's leading into this massive awakening and guiding towards your higher purpose. But this Star and Nine of Cups is gonna feel so good. You're just gonna be in this very amazing environment right now, especially. This isn't, oh, by the way, these two cards aren't even meant to be like future. This is like already happened and happening. So what's next is this awakening. It's like everything is coming into realization, and you realize you're right where you need to be, and you are this force of inspiration. And then the seventh seal gets released. But yeah, that Ace of Swords is very, very deep. And then I also have crystals. I don't know, this card kind of just like stuck out. I don't know if that has any significance. She has a crystal shop?
No, I'm saying that's her future crystal shop. That's where she's gonna do her business.
Get out of here. No.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow. Like I was shuffling it and the cards are like, stop. And I was like, okay. I was like, oh, thank you. That's good to know. And if you got a unicorn, I think you got a unicorn on the low. You're not even, you keeping that secret. That's what's up.
She does.
Unless you are a unicorn
She does.
too. Unicorn gang. That's what's up.
Gang, as they say.
Yes. Gang.
Love
All
you,
right.
Liz.
Thank you, Liz. That was refreshing.
Oh, and Liz is one of the people that I mentioned earlier. She's one of the awesome Virgos. She's one of the really awesome Virgos that helped heal my heart.
It helps heal
Virgo-ness.
distrust and disdain for Virgos.
Yeah. Virgo men especially.
Virgo men. Yeah.
Virgo men.
I wouldn't trust Virgo men.
Always challenging.
Just kidding, you guys. No, I'm not. I dated one. It's horrible. All closed off, like.
Well, it's that Virgo men have always been like the boyfriends or ex-boyfriends of girls that I liked. So it was, it was always that way.
Thank you, Liz.
Oh, so this is the Libra sliding in the DMs like, hey girl.
No. That's not what I said. I didn't say I didn't say anything like that. I don't slide into DMs.
Got him.
I appear in DMs.
Got him.
I simply
like,
happen
hey,
to
girl.
do it. Okay? And I'm proud of it. I don't slide into them.
That's hilarious.
I just happen.
Like you stealing bases. Yo, Ari, the link you posted, I don't think it works.
Really?
Oh, I've had a few people purchase from it.
No, I mean the link you just posted on the chat.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is it not working? Let me see.
This is not found.
Dear God.
Open on Chrome.
Triforce is on it.
It's on. It works.
Got this.
Hold on.
Hold up. Posting the link. Okay, 2. Here we go. That should work for sure. Oh wait, but I'm not Starry, so my link doesn't count, I think.
Oh, let's go ahead and get the link from. Hold on, let me grab it from.
Oh, how weird. I wonder why it's not working. Is it because of the HTTPS, everything?
It might be that. Hold on, let me just find it on this here. Hold on. You send it to us again. Copies. Copies.
Oh, Grace Aquarius comes in company of the Peace Dealer. That's awesome. That's so cool. Yeah, I was hoping people from my channel, people from Peace Dealer's channel would all come here and do this. We're gonna all be doing it on each other's channels.
I just
What's up, Grace?
It works now.
Thank you for joining us. It works now?
We
Yeah.
did it, guys.
So.
We did it. We posted links. We
Live
are pretty next level.
Yo, Ari was talking trash about Virgo men now.
Well, they get
the
what
S
they
had
get
to be
and they shouldn't
capitalized.
profit.
They're all like, my ex-husband was a Virgo. Like, there's like a shit ton of people saying that.
All I'm saying. I mean,
thank God I never married that guy either, because he wanted to, and I'm like, no, you're like way closed off. I can't deal with that. Emotionally, like just gone. No, thank you.
you got to do what you got to do. So our next person is Angie. Angie wants to know what she has in store for the year of 2020. She wants to know what this year is going to be all about. And let me just check. And she has the 3-card reading as well. So let's see what Angie's got. Angie.
No way. Yes, way.
Oh man. Wow.
Detroit goon robs 2 people, then tells black man, "You good? I only rob white people." That's kind of racist. It's 2020, guys.
Oh God. For 2020, Angie, what I got for you is basically the most incredible opportunity ever. So it starts off, basically you got 2 challenges coming up and 1 reward if you face them. Challenge 1, we have the devil. So the devil card is basically saying there are going to be situations where you can put yourself in a position to be changed to comfort, where you can be in familiar places that you know would be actually draining on you if you were to stay in them, but it would remove a lot of the quest work. It would remove it feels like it'd be very short term, like huge payoff, but in the long term would have pretty devastating results. And it doesn't feel like that's going to be much of a mystery at the time. It feels like that's actually part of the bargain or part of the deal that's offered to you. The 7 of Swords says be very careful about any deals that people are coming up to make with you. But the reason why is because with 7 of Swords, you know to trim away the people that are only offering a deal that really benefits themselves and doesn't actually benefit you equitably the way you thought. And the result, if you face both of these challenges, the challenge of temptation and essentially the challenge of deception, then you reach the 2 of Cups. And apparently, if you turn down the wrong deal, which looks to have a short-term payoff, then the right deal comes in that has an extremely long-term payoff. This feels like it's related to career, but it also feels like this is related to love too. So it doesn't necessarily have to mean a business partner that you end up marrying, but it would mean to me that the 2 of you are aligned in your goals, you're aligned in the way that you're getting to them, and you're aligned romantically. So 2020 feels like there's going to be a few of these, honestly. This is not in short supply. However, the end result for this year, not even waiting till the end of it, you'll be experiencing them sort of simultaneously in and out, is discernment to find this right second cup, this right other person. It feels like this is pretty powerful, though. It feels like it feels like a very past energy as well. Like this doesn't feel like necessarily someone you've met before in this lifetime, but it feels like the moment that connection's there, things are just going to flow very abundantly, and you'll have to avoid the temptation of like overthinking it or trying to figure out why it is, and actually just allowing yourself to step into it and enjoy it.
Was that a reading for me or for her? Damn. God damn, Jax, you good at this. Like,
Thank you.
I'll be thinking about something and then you just say it in the card. It's like, damn.
Angie and I planned this. We really were trying to intervene for you.
This is the.
He doesn't have any questions about it. That's exactly what it is. This is all about you, Michael. Ari's in on
it. I knew it.
I would be the one like, all right, you guys, I know you guys want to say what you want to say. I'm going to start though.
There's like literally no one in the comments except for a bunch of bots that I created, like all this different stuff.
All right. Angie, what I got for you is first card is Awakening, and this is like equivalent of the Hangman. So this is about like changes coming up, and getting that confidence within you to actually go towards what it is that you want to accept in your life now. It feels like there is a lot of like Jack said, there's a lot of options, a lot of chaos going on with like, what is it that you need to choose? Who is it that you need to trust? All of this stuff. So what I'm getting for you is ask more questions, get more information in order for you to feel secure enough to make a choice. In order for you to feel like this choice is going to actually propel you to something better. Okay. For that being said, another thing about this is embracing your own unique point of view and sharing that as well. Don't be shy. If it comes up like with a situation where you have to discuss something that might be the opposite belief system as someone else, then do it. You know, you're just expressing yourself, and this is the most purest way of communication that anybody can have, is self-expression, instead of like kind of like minimizing like your feelings in order for you not to rock the boat with someone. So it's definitely kind of like a pause in the situation in order for you to reassess it, okay? In order for you to look at your choices again, or your options again. The next one I got for you is the Nine of Summer, and this is about your wishes coming true and everything, all the things that you've ever wanted being fulfilled finally. And it's kind of like a very, I would say a very transformative and magical time in your life as soon as you start to gather all the information that you need in order for you to move forward, okay? And the next one you got is the Magician. So again, you're manifesting everything. Like it's happening. You're in that zone, you know, or you're like just like in that pull energy, just like pulling in all of the stuff that you deserve, all your gifts that you've been wanting from the universe. So that's awesome. That's what I got.
Super cool.
So it's interesting because Jax talked about the Two of Cups, and that's the central theme I got for you too. Like an adventure is embarking for you to really establish this mutual love, one between you and yourself, and then mirrored with actual partner. But Jesus Christ, yo, who are you people? Like, why am I getting
We brought the right people today.
Amazing ass cards? Like, goddamn, this is literally like a dramatic adventure. Like the skies are opening up. Like, go now, it is time. Like everything about you is about to be OD. Like, I don't know if you're the type of person that needs like more than one sign, but the skies are literally gonna open up and be like, now is the time. Like you are embarking on a new adventure, awakening, new phase, boom. Passionate new start. And I mean, Serapis Bay is also saying go now. So I think with the full card, you know the direction to go. Like you just recently got this awakening, and the Ace of Wands is you deciding to initiate passionately forward. But I think you need to know that you're moving forward with the fullness of swag and power to like, it's like the force with which you're moving forward with, you're guaranteed success. So knowing that beforehand adds a lot of swagger. It's like, oh, I know I'm about to be lit Cause I'm like,
Yeah, and I actually know Angie, and she's like this super powerful empowerment coach who's like just got all these incredible missions and awesome stuff that she does. Like she's really cool.
nice.
Awesome. All right.
That's what it did.
So yeah, we've got a few other people here too. We've got next we have Michelle. So Michelle, please let us know in the comments if you haven't already what your question is or if it's general. And then after Michelle, we have Kristen who would like a general reading. And then we have Norma. And then we've got a few other people that have just joined us. We also got Kim Yancey. We've got Kanuta. We've got someone whose PayPal is under Passion Inspired Art. So yes, so we've got quite a few people. So anyone who'd like to book one, go for it now.
I'm putting
yeah, this is going to be great. So let's go ahead and start with Michelle. So Michelle, do you have your question?
Michelle. I think I saw her comment up earlier.
Ow.
Maybe I should text her. Hey, wake up!
Oh my God.
We got Spirit Basket in the house. We got Earthworks Acupuncture in the house. We got everybody here today. So we'll wait just another minute, and if we need to go back to Michelle, we can always do that. Or we can do it just general.
Oh, there she is. Like, here.
Oh, awesome.
Give her time.
Awesome.
She's a Pisces.
No, I'm Libra. I'm like,
Shots
you go now.
fired.
You rush.
No, she has good placement. She's a Pisces, and I think she's a Taurus moon and a Leo rising.
That's fucking awesome. I was just talking the other day about if I could design my own chart, like what would it look like? And yeah, definitely, I would definitely have a lot of Pisces in there. We can, Michelle, we can see you. So yeah, if you have a specific question, let us know. Otherwise, just let us know if you'd like a general reading and we will jump right in it.
Jump on it.
We will jump on it. Full on.
Dun, 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 dun.
Stop that. Everybody's gonna be like,
Oh God.
Oh, well, from High Vibe.
Oh shit.
We got everyone here. It's just a whole reunion. Posted earlier.
okay, let's scroll up. Let's see.
Ari, you're gonna have to do it. I can't read right now.
Yeah, I know. You're illiterate. That's okay.
Yeah. I have this condition where I become illiterate sometimes.
By choice.
Yeah.
That's ignorant. That's so ignorant.
Okay.
Oh, from South Park.
Yeah.
I recently found out Trey Parker and Matt Stone are both Libra and Gemini. And everything made sense.
No wonder.
Everything made sense. Like their charts are crazy. crazy.
I need to know what is blocking my path and why I'm stuck in a funk. Super stressed out, not leaving the house, avoiding life because I'm stuck in something. Well, let's get you unstuck, Michelle. Let's take a look at what can be done to start moving, to be back in the flow.
Don't judge me. No judging here.
No one's judging.
Unless you're a Cowboys fan, but I mean,
No,
other than that. Boo. Boom.
Oh my God. Oh Jesus. Yeah, these are some big readings today. I feel like everyone that came here today they were just ready for some intense stuff. So
Seriously.
starting off, so Michelle, first and foremost, King of Wands. King of Wands is not just a person character in the tarot, they're an attitude, they're an idea, they're like basically if you have a belief in something, if you have a conviction in something, understanding that not only can you stand up for it, but that by doing so proudly won't bring you the sort of like sort of repeat fire back to you that you think it will. If you stand up and boldly express your passions and your convictions and the things you believe that you know other people aren't going to, it's it ends up being something that actually other people respect way more than you'd think. They end up sometimes just like agreeing, which is surprising because you assumed that they would have this whole dialogue that they would say when really none of that was going to happen. And also, it sets an expectation that you're not going to back down. And so it's like, well, how does that get me unstuck? It's like, honestly, being ready to wear this armor is something that gets you excited already. It's a form of self love and self respect when you say, from now on, I'm going to start saying exactly what I think and I'm going to be proud of it to the highest degree possible. And then it's like the result from that is apparently the star card. So you're about to have basically this alternate reality, this other path that's stretched out in front of you. And you'll be saying, wait a minute, I could stay where I am and continue to feel stuck, or there's this new path. And I don't know what's at the end of it, but I know that I can start walking on this path. And if I start going for it, then I'll feel alive. And if I feel alive, then of course I'm going to be reawakened and reconnected with myself, reconnected with spirit, reconnected with life itself. And if I'm doing this, then I know that even if the prize at the end of it isn't something I know it'll be worth it because I feel alive. And the result of that, by following that risky path, is the sun. And the sun will basically say, hey, here's the revealing light that will show you how all of this began, why it is it feels so intoxicating and difficult to escape. And basically, with everything revealed in the truth, you're able to finally make your decisive decision. I'm going in this direction. I know where I'm going. I had faith back in the star situation, and now I've stepped into the sun. So everything's working out for me. Everything's glowing. Everything is coming in, you know? So it's so much more than just the manifestation of money. This is about the manifestation of like the feeling of being alive. So it feels really powerful, Michelle. It feels like this is going to be a really good time to face it and be proud of it and believe in yourself and like stand tall at all times.
Yeah, stand tall because you're kind of short. Just kidding. I'm kidding. I know her personally. I go to school with her.
Oh, snap. Okay, that's crazy.
Yeah, and believe me, she is not one to just filter her. Like when she thinks it, she says it.
Good. Yeah, King of Wands is your salvation.
Yeah, exactly. So it's definitely her, that Leo energy of hers. Yep.
Oh, Leo.
Yep. So okay, so I got the Four of Michael for you, and this is the Four of Swords. So this is all about reflection. You know, it's kind of like what Jax was talking about. It's like, where are you headed? Make that plan and then stick to it and things like that. But it's also about, it feels like finally revealing to yourself what it is that you truly desire and want, besides the career stuff, because there's a lot of good shit that you're doing for career wise, like you're heading on the right direction, but it's more like emotional security as well as stability. It feels like there's definitely time for you to seek, and that's why you've been like in the like I want to stay home mode, because it's like a time for you to finally realize or tell yourself, okay, emotionally fulfillment, how am I going to do this, how does that look for me, you know? And of course you're going to be evaluating like you know, other situations like your past, possibly your parent dynamic, things like that, and you know already that you don't want that. That's why you never settled for less. And so now it's kind of like a time for you to be like, okay, what do I really want though? Like, what do I really want as like a support system, a relationship with other people, as well as with an intimate partner? What is it? I don't just want this, you know, I want it all, like the whole enchilada, you know? And so that's why there's a time of like you're being refocused to remain inside, to ask these questions so that you can be like, okay, now I know what the fuck I want, and so I'm gonna go out there and bring it to, you know, towards me. So then you got the 10 of Ariel, which is the equivalent of the 10 of Pentacles, and this is about like finally getting what you want, like everything you're feeling like everything's coming to fruition, all of that emotional support is coming in, all of that that foundation, that kind of like you feeling like you're being supported by other people that you care about is finally happening. And then of course financial success, of course you already got that, girl, like it's coming, you know, it's coming even more. So it's like the 6 of Ariel, the same thing, it's the 6 of Pentacles. This is about your all of your material needs being met, everything, your home, building a home, having, you know, a stable relationship, having like all your needs fulfilled in the material world, to include money, your career succeeding, things like that. So it's just, again, this pause in your energy right now is because you need that time to evaluate and be very firm with yourself as to what it is that you truly want. Okay, so that's what I have for you.
I need to show you this instead of like put the cards up because it's pretty meaningful enter. So um,
Oh,
the
wow.
the bottom card is the Ace of Pentacles, but there's a special relationship between the 6 and 5. I know you said you were stressed too, so um, the 6 is all about financial assistance and flow after the 5, and it almost looks like this person is helping out this individual who is less fortunate, and it's almost as if they're getting money back because of what they assisted in. So this comes from the Ace of Swords. I really find that important because you did say you're stressed, so there is an epiphany coming through. I think this Ace of Swords is coming through for everybody, but especially more specifically for you as far as like changing your perception around your situation. You have every right to be stressed. It's anyone with Pisces energy, especially like going through anxiety for sure. And I think this period is gonna like regain your power by reminding you why. I think you're stressed because your intuition is helping you pick up stuff that might be too much for you to handle, but the Ace of Swords is going to remind you why it's nothing to worry about. And not that you're frivolously, well, I just kind of want to emphasize like there is a good reason you're worrying, and that's why this Ace of Swords is coming through to remind you we might have shown you too much, don't worry. But the 6 of Pentacles is letting you know you have support. So you're in a position to support, but you actually have support. I don't think this just plays out financially. This plays out emotionally too. So there's definitely going to be, with the 2 aces here, a new income stream, a new idea that will lift you out of this current predicament, which you'll actually find out is a great blessing. But on another level, and I just downloaded this from you, or I just got this from you, or an idea came through. And I think your Pisces energy allows you to manifest abstracts and to deal with archetypes in a collective sense. So you're not just experiencing anxiety, you're filtering that through your own personal experience, but you're actually going to war with collective anxiety. And as you deal with it in yourself, you're going to notice people around you are also happier too because of the inner work you're doing. And your friend here is the power of joy. So it's not really just like being falsely positive and like happy through it. It's you currently have joy that you can empower yourself with to combat this anxiety. But it's not like you're just getting rid of your anxiety. It's almost as if like you're dealing with it collectively. And you're going to see this reflectively too. and your dealings with other people. All power to you. For sure.
All right.
I'm complete.
That sounds right. That feels super right. It feels like, yeah, she's gonna be in a pretty radically awesome place here pretty quick. There's a lot of energy coming in.
With support, for sure.
Now we have Kristen Garcia, and Kristen has a 1-card pull for general. She just wants to know generally what's coming up for her. So let's take a look.
1 card?
Yeah, this one will be a 1-card pull.
Garcia,
Let's see what we got coming up for Kristen. Kristen. Wow. Okay. So, Kristen, yeah. So, in case you've been feeling a radical change of emotions at rapid rates recently, and you've been feeling like 1 minute you're kind of confused about something from the past, and the next moment you're almost like mourning something and letting it go and finding acceptance, and then you feel really happy, and then you're feeling like all these other things, and you're like, why am I feeling this like super increased range of emotion right now? The number one thing with 7 of Cups is always about letting go of the diagnostic part of our thoughts with that, because what we'll want to do is we'll want to figure out why. We're going to want to get to the bottom of it, like it's a problem. And reality is, if you allow those different emotions to flow completely unrestricted, you let them flow right through you, then sadness may have been suppressed for 6 months can be released in a matter of like hours or days. And it'll be something where you'll feel your way through, you'll accept it about yourself, you'll accept both the really positive emotions coming up, as well as accepting the really difficult ones, because the lack of acceptance within the judgment of ourselves from our negative emotions is something that puts us even deeper in the spiral. And then it makes it like even harder to climb out. So Kristen, the number one thing right now, 7 of Cups, listen to your emotions. Let them tell their story, and don't worry too much about analyzing and figuring out where that story comes from, because you'll know if you let yourself experience it first. It's about the experience of your emotions.
Well said.
Awesome. Thank you, Grace Aquarius, for subscribing. You're welcome, Michelle. All right, so what I got for you is Kristen Garcia. I got the 6 of Spring. Okay, so this is like the equivalent of the 6 of Wands. So this is about like kind of like what Jack said. It's kind of like you have to start to move towards what it is that you really, really want to bring in. Another thing is making choices that are, how do I say this? It's kind of like you have to be a little bit selfish. Like I'm not gonna lie. You have to take care of you first, okay? And then you can take care of other people, okay? So it's kind of like the situation with a cup. Like you have like your cup half full, and then like you're giving up from that cup, and then all of a sudden you're like left with like a little bit left over of your own energy as well as love, that they're like, no, so you need to stop doing that. You need to take care of you. You need to fill your cup first, and then from there you can fill everyone else's. So it's like making smart choices when it comes to your time, the effort that you're placing into connecting with other people, as well as your own growth. Like it feels like there's too much pulling of your time, too much pulling of the like your energy. So the 6 of Spring is telling you, as soon as you start to be a little bit more like self-care, you know, relying on the self, as well as having boundaries, then the 6 of Spring comes in and says, here's your, you know, wonderful news coming in. Things are going to change. They're going to get better because you are finally taking care of yourself. Okay. And so that's what it is. It's like you're going to have your rewards, your success, everything you've ever wanted as soon as you decide that you want to actually have boundaries. Okay. Because remember, especially when it comes to money, like they're showing kind of money, they're like, okay, even if you had like $1 in your bank account, you would give that dollar to someone instead of keeping it for yourself. You know what I mean? Like that's how unselfish you are. And they're like, you could just give like maybe like 10 cents. That's fine. If you really want to give something, but don't give the whole dollar, you know? So that's what it is. It's like making sure you have boundaries, and then because of it, you have way more to give, you know? So that's what I have for you.
Yeah, I got super positive cards for you. Honestly, I feel like Jackson already touched on most of it. So just to recap, um, thank you, Jade Stone. You're right.
Yeah,
We are the dream team.
Aw.
we love it.
So the underlying theme I have for you is the Three of Wands, which is talking about enterprising forward motion where you see the next few months ahead. You know what you want to do, you know what you plan to do. There's a lot of business and trade, but doesn't have to be business as much as it is this enterprising attitude of being a go-getter. It's Sun and Aries. So it could, everything happening now could climax end of March into April, but as an underlying theme, you have this very badass energy. Like, you know what you want to do, you know what you have to do, and you're ready to do it. And the main card for you is you have all the support. Like, it's going to be successful. Art, business. It's just this super happy vibe that is coming from your heart that you're sharing with everyone, with what you have to do. So like, there's what you have to do, but make sure that with whatever you do, you're sharing your personal enthusiasm and you're sharing your love and your light. As cliche as that sounds, when light workers say it, love and light, like, you actually doing that is going to be, no matter what you do, that's going to be the key forward for you. And once again, you got to go now. Like, you seem to have the key. You just have to go forward knowing the sun is shining through you and holler. That's
Awesome.
That's awesome. Thank you, Kristen. And our next person is going to be Kim Yancey. So let's take a look at. She also has a one card pull. So let's go ahead and see what's coming up for Kim generally.
Oh, hey, Norma said to check your PayPal because you paid through PayPal.
Oh yeah, Norma is right after Kim. So if Norma can also post her question, that'd be awesome.
general. I don't know. I don't know.
Ooh, Kim. So, Kim, we've got Queen of Wands for you, which is just hilariously on point. So, yeah, Queen of Wands for you. This is really stepping into Mastered Aries, Mastered Leo, and Mastered Sagittarius as well. This is about basically finding all of your ultimate fire strengths, everything that you've always defined yourself by, that you think of as like, you know, I'm really good at this because I'm outspoken. I'm really good at this because I'm passionate. It's like, it's time for you to like make a list of all of these different powers and things and recognize like how far you've come and applying them into your life. Basically, the Queen of Wands isn't saying that there's a particular thing that must be done besides recognizing that you're the Queen of Wands, recognizing it completely and having that very intimate connection with yourself. There's also in this one, like there's a sunflower on top. And the sunflower on top to me is about basically saying that through your recognition of yourself as the sunflower, you'll be able to start, finding the sun like all day as it's happening. Just like the sunflower constantly moves and sort of chases the sun and like looks to absorb its warmth, like that needs to be you right now. And the sun's going to be opportunities. It's going to be like all kinds of different things. It feels like you've got a ton of fire coming into your life. So this is going to be passion, it's going to be love, it's going to be romance, it's going to be art, it's going to be just random excitement. It feels like you're going to be doing really well through the rest of Aquarius season, and it feels like Pisces season is going to be really good to you as well. So yeah, get ready for it because this is going to be intense. It feels like it's going to crescendo once we get to Aries season, once we step into your season again. So be ready for that.
Okay, so
They
this
use flowers as messages. That's so funny. Yeah, awesome.
this is what I got for you: the wheel, or the wheel of fortune. Dun, 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 dun. So, and you know for a fact that you're already feeling the change coming. You know, you're already feeling that you are going to be pushed to do something that is out of your comfort zone, in order for you to finally get what you have been wanting forever, you know, like your independence, your own your own business venture, as well as any type of like direction towards your own happiness. Okay. Like it's kind of like a new beginning, a new like idea, a new door opening, but you have like it. Your grandpa always shows up on your readings and he's just saying there's a lot of doors open. It's just like you just gotta go in one of them. Like you just gotta trust that you are choosing the right door, okay, for you. And that's why Jack said, you know, planning and doing all that stuff, looking at making a list of all of your strengths will help you with choosing what direction you go towards, okay? Because your grandpa's saying any door will fit you, any door. You have so many options. You can do so much, you know, much more than what you're doing at this time. It's just the confidence to choose or to trust is gonna be like right now. It's kind of like he's pushing and motivating you towards it. Okay, so that's where the Wheel of Fortune comes in, where as soon as you choose, you get everything. Everything is on that side of the door. Okay, so that's what I got for you, Kim.
That's so awesome.
Kim,
They are pushing her.
I got the Queen of Cups for you as an underlying theme, which is you being very compassionate and you opening up more of your psychic abilities by your willingness to just listen to people and not to listen to the words they say, but to listen to their heart because you see this already. In fact, when people say things, just pause before you respond, just to see if they'll say anything more, or just to see if after their words speak, you see their soul speak to them, because you're mastering your psychic potential. So this is urging you to be compassionate. Kimberly, I can see it clearly right now. You might even be dealing with some fairly stupid people or annoying people or people who want to try you. And the magic you'll work if you're just compassionate and approach from a place of understanding will actually, you know, change their whole countenance because they feel felt. So this is interesting because that's the underlying theme. But the main card we have is almost the opposite, the King of Swords, having to be completely objective. And this could actually be a man or an individual who you come into that is an expert in their field. And the energy I got is like one person's the Queen of Cups and you're attracting this King of Swords. It's like to this King of Swords, you want to be this Queen of Wands, Queen of Cups that can balance his cold-hearted, heartless, I mean, intellectual superiority with your emotional
Yeah,
receptivity.
bear signs. Must be a Gemini or an Aquarius. Just
Definitely.
This is the Aquarius card, so
Yes.
anything's awesome.
But
And
you tend to be like, yeah.
oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. And we have Work Your Magic with Saint Germain, so that's what's up. I also get the sense that this is you. That you, the reason why you need to be compassionate is because you also need to be somewhat heartless or objective. And it's like, if you have that understanding, you know when and how to be objective. So there's that too.
Awesome. Thank you, Kim. So our next person is Ms. Norma. Norma wants a reading focused on her career. She wants to know career things coming up, and she is also a 3-card pull. Ari, would you like to start us off with that?
Sure.
I will be right back.
Career. Okay. I'm gonna pull one of these cards over here. This is
Thank you, Kimberly.
and then I'm
Stepping on, stepping on. But I don't stop.
gonna. You already know this, Norma. Like, what's your purpose? You already know, girl. You already know. Okay, but let's focus on what's going on or what's gonna happen in the future.
Well, right off the bat, I got the Three of Swords, J-Mac, I think we do have a list. I think, no, I don't know if anyone's after Norma, but it's interesting that you say career, because all the cards that I pulled don't directly seem to be related to career, but definitely, of course, end up having to do with it. So the underlying theme is sacrifices. It seems like there might be some emotional pain or something that you reluctantly may have to let go, or it could be a good riddance, but this is definitively, hopefully not a betrayal, but it looks like a sacrifice that's being made as far as a direction you're moving into your career or who you're working with, because we do see the Queen of Wands, the Tower card, and the Knight of Wands, which is very interesting because it's a lot of high passion. And it almost seems as if you're going to be making unexpected decisions that take you a 90-degree angle shift in your career. And that's going to require, once again, like sacrifices that you or others may not be prepared for. So please let me know if this makes sense to you, because none of this is negative. It's just a very instant shift that's going to have you passionately change a lot of aspects in your career. That might be why you're feeling a little bit blocked, because you're expecting to do one thing and spirit is just going to be like, okay, you used to be a pediatrician, now you're a tour manager, and it's like, this is your purpose now. And it's like, whoa, okay, that's totally in left field. And Kuan Yin is saying, oh, let it go. Any fears, any apprehensions, like, you'd totally be all right. So thanks for that confirmation, Norm.
All right.
That was awesome.
So what I got, and again, what is your life purpose? Why are you here? And you already know the answer to that, Norma. You just took a different route at this moment, okay? Because this is what you're bringing to the world. It brings divine healing and light, love to this world. That is your life purpose. That's why you're here. You're a beacon of this. You're a healer, okay? You're here to assist with healing. Right now, you are doing that same thing, but at a minimum. You know, you're just like with your interactions with other people at this time, you are assisting them in some way, shape, and form. But there feels like there's something that's missing. Like you feel it. You feel a pull to doing what it is that you really, really want to do. And it's kind of like the reason why you got into this other career right now is because you wanted independence. You wanted to do your own thing. You wanted to be like, even like they're saying, kind of financially independent, so that you could have more than enough to create, eventually go back to creating this, bring this into reality. So it feels like there's like this money that you want to save in order for you to finally exit this route or this career and go into this one, okay? Into the one that you truly are passionate about, like more than anything else. And so that you know that you're making a bigger impact on, you're not restricted by rules, regulations, or laws. You know that you're going to be making a bigger impact when you decide to move on, okay? It feels like this year is going to be like the process of you taking those steps, making a plan, and seeing it to fruition, okay? Because then you have the 10 of Ariel, which is the 10 of Pentacles, meaning that everything is as it, like, kind of like you're planning towards this goal, is where everything is coming into alignment, into what it is that you really desire. You're finally independent, you're finally self-sufficient, and you're bringing, of course, that whole, like, they're showing kind of like the emperor energy too into this, because you're going to be in charge of your family. You know, you're going to be in charge of taking care of the kids. You're going to be in charge of the finances in your own right. Okay, it's like very independent. You're building your empire because ultimately this is where you're headed, to the sun. You're headed with a wonderful, like, kind of like much more prosperous idea that you've ever even, you know, like thought of. You dreamed about this already. You know that it's going to happen. You know there's changes coming, but it's kind of like you're just like, but wait, just a little bit more so that I can have like that security, so that I don't have that fear that I'm not going to have enough. but the sun is telling you, yeah, you're going to have more than enough. So just make the plans. It's time for that, time to make the plans. So that's what I have for you, Norma.
That's awesome. And yeah, Norma, what I got for you. So first of all, it is very windy inside your mind right now. There are just like so many new ideas. Like you've got so many new inspirations and ways of reinterpreting old inspirations. Even Ace of Swords is saying, I always think of it, it's like the lightning bolt from God in a way. It's kind of like basically like, here's this divine idea. Here's this beautiful new thing. It's like raw material. And by itself, the idea could just be a pipe dream, or if applied and taken seriously and respected and thought out, I mean, it could be something that's a plan that will start to alter the way you think about life and the way you live it. To me, it feels like if you follow this divine inspiration, if you allow yourself to be struck with that lightning bolt, the wheel card says that you can basically go through some pretty radical shifts that all take place within the frame of a year. So your career is going to be going from basically the winter of death into the sort of spring of life, into the summer of ultimate growth, and then into the fall of, basically changing form. It feels like you're going to go through a very scorpionic year for yourself. And it's going to be powerful. It's going to be something that's memorable because this is the year where you proved that the dreams you had could exist. You proved that the things that seemed like limits before were something you could surpass, and the evolution over into the Knight of Swords. And basically being the, that archetypal genius who kind of rushes in and has to learn, of course, to hold things back a bit, because just like with the Ace of Swords, it's like, you've got this lightning bolt, like direct info from the divine, and then you have to make sure that you're marching forward with it confidently without marching too fast, without trying to rush things. So basically, this is about recognizing all of the power that you already have. And in this particular case, it feels like it will give you a year that, while we were talking about career, this feels like it connects to love. It feels like it connects to family. This is a renewal of the impossible. It's a year where all of your expectations have been thrown off the table, and then it's like new expectations, like a new threshold for what you expect from friends, from love, from career. You have way higher expectations, because after you've seen the wheels change, after you've seen it turn, you can never unknow it. You can never unknow what you now know. You'll never be able to go back to the way things were. So yeah, follow it. Follow the wind, follow this air power that you have inside yourself, and follow the Sagittarian energy of the changing seasons.
Yay!
It's beautiful.
A Scorpio woman shared me a fun fact. She told me that the porn industry began in 84, 85 when Pluto was in Scorpio. Yeah.
I believe that.
It's quite interesting.
Which means it was thought about by Pluto and Libra.
Yeah. Oh, well said. Should we do this or not? Should we do this or not?
So that's awesome. So after Norma, let me see who's next. Anyone who's already ordered one, go ahead and just type in the comments your questions. And then let's do a last call. If you can post that link one more time. You guys, anyone else who wants a reading, go ahead and we'll click the link that we're about to send down. Otherwise, we are closing up because we got 45 minutes left before I have to head off and fly into the sunset. So next we have Canuta, then we have Passion Inspired Art, then we've got Ann Volke, and then we've got Jade. So let's see. I like to say people's names in a cool way. I like
a word.
Is it because? Sorry, I'm reading. Sorry.
Is it because you're cool, Jax?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I'm chocked full of it, and I have to release my cool sometimes, and so I just, like a steam engine. Otherwise,
cool Jax.
Yeah.
Cool Jax. Chugga chugga choo.
Woot woot, all aboard.
Oh God. That's what's up. Is this a 1 card or a 3 card?
I think all remaining are 3 cards, except for Jade is a 1 card, I believe.
Okay.
Master Canuta, that's pretty cool. You're a Jedi Master now. I want you to channel Uranus through the cards and give me a savage and direct career action steps of what I need to do to start my new life. I am ready, but Mercury's a bitch. Kick my divine ass.
Mercury's like, I know you're not talking shit. I'm about to retrograde.
As possible, I will ask the tarot cards to be as savage as humanly possible. I like that. I think that's cool. I engage with that all the time, actually. I'm like, I want the most savage, difficult thing to hear right now possible.
All right. You asked for it.
Those air signs freaks, man.
Yes, we are. the
One of the
earth part
cards
of me
didn't
be
even
like,
want to leave the deck. It was like, no, don't let me out. Okay. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, well, here we go. Yeah, we've been saying Jesus a lot tonight because Jesus is with us. Yeah. Okay, so here's the deal. Okay. This is hilarious. So starting off, we have 10 of Wands. So 10 of Wands is saying, look, you are currently on your quest up the mountain. You are near the peak of the mountain at this point. You are very close to the end. But the thing you have to remember is if you're carrying all of the things you want to carry up to the top of the mountain, you might break your back before you get there. So number one thing, reduce. Keep things extremely simple for yourself. You are going to want to also carry this other idea that you're working on and this other idea and this other idea. And you're going to want to carry all these different things to the top of the mountain, but it will kill you if you do. So what you'll have to do is you're going to have to reduce. And then when you get to the top of the mountain with your 8 wands remaining or your 6 wands remaining, then refocus and replan about how you can restart the journey and start turning those other wands you left behind into their own journeys. But you can't do 10 journeys at one time. You can only do one journey at one time. You can only take one big, simple thing up that mountain with you. The 7 of Wands says that the price tag for trying to carry all of them is actually just going to be confusion and non-action. It's going to be a bunch of half-finished ideas. If you're trying to carry it all up, then 7 of Wands says that you will miss opportunities that actually could have taken you to the 8 of Wands. So if you stay simple and remember, you'll have your whole life to do every single thing you want to do, then you'll be able to get to the top. And what's the result card? Literally the actual 8 of Wands. So 8 of Wands is saying the result from reducing and doing less will help you a lot in your career path. Because if you only have one thing to focus on, you can put all of your Aquarius ideas into that one I totally get it. As Aquarius rising, I get it. Like you want to put it into one singular laser focus. If you have the disco ball in front of the laser and it's shooting everywhere, then the light is reduced with every reflection. It's like a little bit less than it could have been, a little bit less dense, a little bit less powerful. And what you want is you want this 8 of Wands. Better to be at the top of the mountain with 8 of Wands than almost up it with 10 unfinished wands, you know?
Yeah. Take that. Just kidding. All right, Kanuta. So I got the renewal card for you. It's pretty similar energy as to what Jax was saying. This is a time for you to review the past. Like I think we talked about this last week, life review, as well as the present moment. Like where are you headed? Like why are you wanting certain things in your life? Okay, and it's kind of like you have a brighter future waiting for you. And you just have to understand like the direction that you're going towards. Okay, so one thing at a time. And like Jack says, it's like there's a lot of, even though you don't like Mercury energy, they're asking you to hone in on that Mercury Virgo energy. Why? Because they're good at planning step by step procedures, making sure that you have everything that you need in order for you to move forward with the plan A, then plan B, then plan C. Okay, so first you accomplish plan A, second B, and then third C, and whatever other 100 plans that you have. Because I know you have way more than that. And so it says, they're saying planning is going to be more efficient. One thing at a time is going to be more efficient than spreading your energy towards different directions at the same time. Like Jack said, like with that disco ball thing, it's like the light is kind of more dim if you reflect it in different locations instead of just honing it in on one direction. Okay, so when you start doing that, when you start planning, when you start getting organized and doing one thing at a time, then you get into the 10 of autumn, and the 10 of autumn is the same thing as the 10 of pentacles. There's a lot of people with 10 of pentacle energy. Damn, you guys. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And so this is what is going to happen. It's like you take those proper steps, you go towards one goal at a time, you're going to see the pull of the finances, the pull of that relationship that you want, the pull of like everything coming to fruition that you've ever wanted, one thing at a time. Okay, like it could just like you're an Aquarius, so you're just like, I want it all at once. Yeah. Like just hit me with it, but it's kind of like they're saying that Mercury energy is like slow and steady wins the race. Okay, and so the next one you got is the 6 of spring, and this is the 6 of wands. And so again, all of the wonderful stuff that you're planning is gonna happen. Again, just organize yourself, just do one thing at a time, as well as making smart choices as to what to do first. Okay, like what is it that you can accomplish right now that is going to be beneficial for you as well as other people, that you're kind of like setting up yourself to succeed in the way that you're going to revolutionize something very ancient. Okay, like you're revolutionizing, like you are an Aquarius, you're going to tear down what we believe is societal standards, and you're going to revolutionize it and make it your own. Okay, and so that's what it is. You're going to have a lot of success in this. You're going to have public recognition, you're going to have monetary gain, and you're going to have the girl. All right, so just plan, use that Mercury. Okay, that's what I got for you.
So you saying that he's gonna have the girl make sense of the last card I pulled, because I literally came out of nowhere.
Really? Nice.
Master Canuta, your reading is savage. That's all I have to say. You got the Tower card. Uranus is like, okay, you want direct? Here's a lightning bolt, motherfucker. Boom. And Mercury's about to go retrograde, so watch how you talk shit about Mercury, bro. Because he's gonna fuck with you. But yeah, I want you to see this reading because like it's kind of interesting. You see the Tower, and then here's you, Moon in Aquarius with the 7 of Swords. So it looks like you bailed from a situation right before shit hit the fan, took the relevant ideas, like, I see all this that works. And then,
he's like, fuck y'all.
Literally.
Get the fuck out of here.
And then here's you with your old boo thing right after this awakening right now. Right. This is crazy, yo. So that threw me off guard. I had to take a minute to understand that. I don't know if the judgment is you getting exposed for that, or it's like you awakening. It looks, the 6 of Cups is after, so it looks like you're taking the good from what you bounced from, and it's like awakening such a comfortable environment that you love to be in with the people you love to be with. So looks like you hit a lick, bruh. Looks like you finessed something really amazing, because the 7 of Swords is also like doing your own thing. But I just wanted you to see how you're looking at the Tower. It's like, right, it's like you knew it was gonna happen. You didn't even tell anyone. You're like, oh, before you guys get fucked, I'm just gonna leave with this. And yeah, we also have health and healing with Hilarion. So that's a general focus you definitely want to keep in mind.
That is awesome.
Boom.
Well, thank you, Knuda. And next we have Ms. Cindy. Cindy has, let's see what's going on with Cindy. I believe Cindy said general reading. Yeah, general reading. Okay, well, let's go ahead and jump on it. Here
we go.
This is also a 3-card pull. And hey, thanks for everybody who's showed up today. We super appreciate it. This is kind of this has been a really good one. I feel like there's always been some tech issue or something that's come up before. It feels like we are fully aligned at this point. So we the Triforce is going to be coming at you. We don't have a full plan per se, but we're going to be trying to do this weekly-ish at the very least. So I'm going to be figuring something out like that. Michael, is that news to you? Because
also, if you guys want this in person,
it looked like you were reacting to what I was saying, like, huh?
What we have plans now? Like shit. we have a schedule. Fuck.
Well, you guys know, so it's my fault. I'm gonna just go ahead and confess whose fault it is. It's my fault. It's that I'm just like, yeah, like whenever we get to it, we can get to it, and then like days go by and I have trouble keeping schedules for like a scheduled thing, but maybe we could do like a Monday night thing, you guys, maybe, or something.
Yeah, we can. I don't have school on Mondays.
But yeah, in the audience, let us know what your guys' most magical times that you think would be the best to have us on would be.
Oh, hey, so let's talk about the retreat real quick before everybody
Yep.
Okay, so if you guys are interested in our retreat or meeting us in person, we're going to have one the June 19th to the 22nd in Big Bear, California. I do have for purchase on my website under events, www.StariAri333.com, or you can email me at StariAri333@gmail.com if you prefer a payment plan option. Okay, so this is going to be like fun. Like you guys see how we act right now. You just wait until you meet us in person. I'm just letting you know it's gonna be like you won't even know who you are after the retreat.
Neither will we. We won't either. We'll all have amnesia when we're done.
You're gonna be like, what happened? Who am I? But yeah, so if you guys are interested, let me know, holler at me, and we'll get you set up.
Speaking of which, I didn't have a follow for that, but Cindy, it's your turn. As a Libra, we love segues. We love to segue into the next thing, like just in sort of embroider the conversation throughout everything. So sometimes though, we don't have a next thing to say and we're like, oh, well, why did I say therefore, like I'll just, and then nothing, just absolutely nothing. So Cindy, what I've got for you coming up is some of like the most intense cards, but they all have the biggest payoff. So first of all, we've got the Devil, and it's pretty clear the interpretation of this one is about the way other people are perceiving you right now. So Cindy, you're essentially about to step into some pretty cool abundance. Things are going to be going good on the financial spectrum, things are going to be good in health. You're going to have this influx of all this positive physical energy, and you will be mischaracterized for it. And so the thing is, there are some people in this world who unintentionally and accidentally, they sort of villainize us in a way. There's other people who do it on purpose. And regardless, though, other people's opinions and judgments have nothing to do with your journey. You're moving with sanctity and with truth and honor and all that. So when other people say that you must have this mischief up your sleeve or that you must have done this or that in order to move forward, just remember these opinions do not in any way detract from your life or your happiness. They don't have to, at the very least. And you're not responsible for telling people that it's not true. You're just responsible for being who you are. That's your only responsibility. The Hanged Man card says that it's something, though, that will be a relatively sensitive subject for you. So being mischaracterized, being misjudged is something that's almost like, it feels like a lot of heart space energy here, especially with this Hanged Man. So the number one thing is to remember, through this pain of feeling this and through accepting it and then letting it flow through you and then letting it go once and for all, you'll have transcendence. Because the Hanged Man isn't just like, oh, you're about to be in a bad situation. It's like, you're about to be in a bad situation so that you can then gain the wisdom and the prosperity that you've always sought. Like Odin hung himself down from the Yggdrasil world tree for like 9 days and 9 nights. So that
Yggdrasil?
And he was, what?
Yggdrasil?
What did I say?
Yggdrasil? I don't
know. Oh, Idris.
I think you said the right way too. I just wanted
No.
to see if
No,
yeah.
I don't even know at this point. It was a big old tree, and it was the world tree.
a fucking
And
tree.
The world tree.
some people say it in many different ways. We'll call it the Y tree. So
The Y tree, yeah.
is where he hung upside down and gathered a bunch of wisdom through a really
Wow.
difficult thing. So honestly, here's the deal though. The point of accepting and getting through that is so that you can be immune to it in the future, because you don't ever have to take on other people's venom. You just don't have to. It is an option to say no. Like, I'm opting out of that. I'm not taking that on, because just because other people think I should have to own up to it doesn't mean that they're right. In fact, it probably means that they're wrong, because in all justifiable situations, that's not how explaining yourself works. In all justifiable situations, there's some really good cause or reason why people might be misjudging you, and then all you have to do is just speak your truth, and then they accept it or don't. Here's the deal though, the Wheel of Fortune says this is actually pretty tremendous as far as being a part of your evolution as a human being. It feels like this year for you is going to unlock some stuff that's going to alter the way you look at life and the way that you experience it. I feel a ton of love energy and a ton of financial energy coming through. It feels like this is all going to be triggered by the financial energy. This is going to be the first place that comes through. From that abundance, though, there will be all these responsibilities of handling it correctly, and just remembering just not to try and appear in a certain way. You don't have to appear like anything. If you're a good person, then you know it, and that's all there is to it. As far as what I feel that you're a very good person who cares about what other people thinks because you love them, and you will be learning a lesson this year on letting some of that go. It's okay if they misjudge you. It's totally okay.
All right. So what I'm picking up, and this is the first card that dropped out, the Emperor.
Boom.
Why do people misjudge you? Because of this, because you have that Emperor power within you. You have the capability to do everything you want, build an empire, you have all these ideas that are very creative, you're very successful in that way, where you allow the flow of creativity to just come in and lead you towards where you have to go. That is very intimidating to a lot of people. If you are succeeding and you're shining your light and you are actually being kind and compassionate at the same time, that intimidates a lot of people who are not like that. That intimidates a lot of people who are more or less wanting to be the emperor like you, but seeing it in a twisted way. Instead of being a very compassionate, very fair ruler, they want to just rule with an iron fist. Like, what I say goes, that's it. No leeway. You, on the other hand, are not like that. You're showing your own leadership qualities through fairness and compassion. And that's what is intimidating about you, because you are genuine about your care for other people. And other people are just like, other people are just peasants. You know, that's exactly what it is. It's like, you're like, no, they're not. We all have value. And everybody else is like, no, I have more value, you know? And so you tend to mirror that nastiness. You reflect that ugliness. Like, you're like, no, you're fucking up. Like, even though you don't do it on purpose, but because you're in a state of integrity and they're not, that's what bothers them about you. And that's why they try to tear you down or pull you off your throne. And it's not going to work, you know? And so the more that you say, no, I deserve this. I created this for myself. I created my empire out of nothing, and I deserve to be on this throne. And I don't care what they say, because I'm not that way. The more that you do that with yourself, the more that you're going to just know that these people are going to fall away eventually. Okay. And so the next one that I got for you is the Three of Raphael, which is the Three of Cups. So this is a celebration, party time. You're finally seeing all of the success. You're celebrating with other people. You're bringing them in. You're including them in your happiness, in your prosperity and abundance. And that's the whole point. That's the whole purpose that you are here. It's like, my happiness, my success is including my families. You know, it's one with my family. It's one with my friendships. It's one with like whoever I work with, you know? And so that group effort that you want to work with people is, again, why you're so successful. Okay, the next one you got is the Six of Ariel, and this again, material wealth, material success. This is the Six of Pentacles. Everything that you've ever wanted is coming. Okay, as long as you decide that your integrity matters more than what they're saying about you, then you'll be fine. Okay, so that's what I have for you.
Jax, Ari, you, especially you, first of all, Jax, you said my entire reading, like verbatim, in order. That's why at first I was like, what? Like, seriously? Like, exactly. And then Ari literally said the next thing I was going to say. There's nothing for me to say, but okay. I'm just going to recap. I got the Eight of Pentacles for you. So this is you taking up meaningful work. So career is good. It's interesting that this is an underlying theme. This could be a dynamic playing out at work for you too. But yeah, my friend, I got the Two of Swords, the Empress, and the Hangman. So that Two of Swords, Empress, I feel like you're not opening up about something. I think you're maintaining your dignity. And it's like you can expose something or you can open up about something and it's going to give people more clarity. But instead, you're like, it's not their business, or I'm just going to keep it to myself. And this is opening you up for criticism because people aren't in the know. Plus, they're also being peasants, which the thing with Ari, the messages I got that Ari pretty much said even better was that this is you like getting this criticism, but because you have this status as Empress, it's like you can let them say that. Like, they're not you. Like, they're like, of course they're going to be doing that because they're venting at you. And a lot of this is more so it's having to surrender to criticism. And I was kind of amazingly shocked when you mentioned that, Jax, as far as like everything Jack said about opening up to that and not letting it get to you really hit home, because it's almost as if like you're going to hear some mean things from people, but it shouldn't get to you. And I love how in some illustrations the hangman is smiling. It's like it is sacrifice and surrender, but it really shouldn't get to, it's almost as if like it's a trade-off. Like you have all this regal power, and as a trade-off, like you just can't clap back. Like some people are going to say some things, they don't have the status and position that you possess in essence. So it's like, let them say it. Like it's nothing that you can take or should take personally. And the main message I get though is like, you're a queen, they're peasants. Like, let them be like and I think a part of you might be like, no, like we're all equal and we're not. And you know, equality is definitely a thing. Or I heard someone said that not everyone is equal, but we all should be fair. Like fairness and equal is a little different. But yeah, like, you know, I'm getting the sense that this is happening because you could open up about something, but you're keeping it to yourself, which is wise. And I also have listen with Manjurshi in case you have like indecision. Listening to your inner voice will help you with this. But your poise and your grace is what's getting you through this. So you'll find a lot of people are really just more jealous because they feel like, oh, she thinks she's better than us or she's stuck up. And it's like, no, you're just not saying anything because of personal reasons. And I don't think you're gonna let that get to you.
Because you have integrity, that's why. And other people don't.
Amen. That's so cool that we're all so linked on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Cindy. That was awesome. We have Anne up next. Anne says, she's so funny. I am currently undertaking a fabulous spiritual mentorship with Jax Atlantis, and I'm wondering where you three think I should use the skills I'm developing.
On Jax. Use them on Jax. No, for real, but use them though. That's what I like, use them.
Actually, the funny thing is our last session, I was showing her channeling, and so she just tapped right in and channeled me, and it got raw really fast. She was like, I'm feeling like you're feeling this, and you're feeling this, and you're feeling this, and you're feeling this, and I was just like, because she went like full on Libra channels, so it was just like a lot of stuff, you know, it's just like rapid fire and
direct to the point and true.
She's good. She's really super psychic. It's actually like pretty intense. So she wants to know, where should she use these abilities or apply them? I'll go ahead and go last.
Card or
Start us off with this.
is this a 3-card or a?
Oh, 3-card, yeah.
Ooh.
I'm gonna leave up open interpretation, and if you don't mind, I'll start this one off. This is kind of interesting. Intuitively, I got that you should use the information, if possible, on your students. If there is a way, like you could find a way. If I had a vision of you like opening up a exercise circle, and they don't know what you're doing is spiritual, but it's like an exercise that allows them to kind of to it's interesting. Like the students aren't going to get the impression that you're doing anything psychic, but it's going to be more like a fun exercise, maybe like a warm up or warm down. But then also like just I could see you inserting it in conversation. So it's like not a formal reading, but I could see you expertly weaving it in conversation with people and having people just walk away like, wow, how did she know I was going through that? That was such a great coincidence, stuff like that. But the reading I got, very interesting. So the underlying theme is the 8 of Swords, which is like breaking out of this stuck feeling. Thank you, Cindy. It's like examining throughout this period aspects of yourself that have limiting beliefs, but with the spread, I think subconsciously you're stuck because you're psychically picking up on aspects in another person that you don't see. And so you want to do something, but you feel stuck, but you don't know why you feel stuck. And this is the spread that I have, which I'm going to leave the last card open-ended, but this is clearly a message. Like we have the 717. Someone is patiently waiting, deciding to open their heart, and then giving it to this individual. So I'm leaving this open. Let me know what y'all think. This is definitely you or another, I'm going to say it's you or another individual, maybe debating and patiently waiting whether to open your heart up and start a new phase. And at present, you started. So hopefully, I'm thinking that maybe you were patient because you weren't sure whether this is a trustworthy person. And hopefully, you're not opening it up to someone who is playing you. Or the 7 of Swords is saying you're having a secret romantic getaway with somebody that you move privately with. So I feel like you'll know depending on what happens, or if you felt suspicious. Hopefully that 7 of Swords isn't someone who's trying to deceive you, because it does look very symbolic. Like this message is definitely meant for you. And we also have yoga too with Baba Ji. So have no idea how this plays in, but there's certain yogic principles that will definitely help you free your mind with this energy. But I'm very concerned because that 7 of Pentacles, Ace of Cups, 7 of Swords looks kind of interesting, but hopefully that resonates with you.
Yeah, I would actually like to go in tandem. I was going to go last, but after hearing yours, like you just touched on so many different things I wanted to say. So I want to give my impression of it as well. So cool. First of all, Knight of Coins. Knight of Coins, Michael, I love that you were talking about each and every day, like having it as this sort of daily thing where it's like subtle, like you work it into conversations, not like in a reading. You do it with your students in an exercise that doesn't even appear to have necessarily a psychic nature to it, but absolutely opens that up. I would say there's a level of super consistency here, like doing it more and more often. I would say as you continue to do this more consistently, as you continue to speak freely and get out of that 8 of Swords negative self-talk, and you start speaking like really openly and honestly about this, that you run one risk in particular, one thing you'll really want to avoid, Knight of Cups. The powers you have are to speak the truth, the whole divine truth and nothing but the truth. They are not to step in and save someone else.
Mm.
Like they're not to step in and basically be like, oh, I should start expending my energy so I can psychically help this person, and basically keeping your energy and the well of it all to yourself. If you do both of these things, if you both consistently start exploring and expressing what it is you're picking up psychically, even under the guise of random expression or opinion or feeling, then you reach your Queen of Wands. Because the reality is, with the Queen of Wands, you will be seen as having that sort of mystic flamboyance. There's something about it. If you speak about your gifts honestly and openly, even without naming them, you just start saying, I'm feeling this, I'm picking up this, or I'm intuiting that it's kind of this way. You'll have to take on a bold, bright, fiery moniker without even necessarily wanting to. You might want to remain behind the scenes, but the thing is, the more you express your psychic gifts, the more magnetizing you are, the more people are drawn in. And so I thought that was interesting. You said a romantic getaway with Seven of Swords, because yeah, I'm picking up that the thing is, this doesn't just magnetize attention and people that might judge you. It's also going to magnetize a lot of sacral energy, a lot of root energy, because that's just what it does. When you like start talking about all this stuff, people are very drawn into that. So be prepared for that and express yourself consistently.
All right. So what I got was counseling for what you use this for. And it's funny, you guys are all like, to get everyone in a circle, talk about things like that. So that's what it is. It's like more of like you having that empathy and honing in on that gift that you have already, and using wise counsel, your own, wise advice, wise words towards trying to assist people. You already do this, and so it's more or less having that time when you feel that it should be proper, of course, with assisting other people through counseling sessions, through kind of like coaching them, like, hey, you're doing really well at this. Why don't you try this step instead, so that it could go this way, things like that. So it's kind of like you already have that innate connection to people. You already know things about them without them even asking anything. And so the next one is like, what are you going to do with it, right? What do you want to do with this? So the Chariot came up, and the Chariot's all about, looking at like moving forward, not looking at like what's in, like what's the road, like where's the road going towards. It's more like trusting that you are doing the right thing for yourself, trusting in your intuition, trusting that you are already right now assisting other people, okay, on their journey, on their path. This is also about dedication and self-discipline, where if you truly desire to work with your gifts, like Mike said, do it daily. You have to do it. It's like muscle memory. It's like when you go and work out at the gym. If you're working on certain muscle groups, the same thing with psychic abilities. If you work on that daily, then they enhance. Okay. And then again, it's kind of like making sure that you are moving forward on this path if you truly desire it. The next one is the Empress energy. And so this is creativity, creating something out of nothing, creating something that it's going to be prosperous and abundant, as well as even like kind of like alluring to so many people, especially intellectuals that are kind of like, like, oh, we don't believe in psychic abilities and things like that, or they question things, and so you are going to be someone that is going to prove to that community itself that yes, there's beyond the mind, there's beyond that. All right. And so with that Empress energy, you're creating this atmosphere around you in order for you to be that, Empress, and hone in on like what it is that you want to make. How is it that you want to create your psychic abilities to work with what you have right now? Okay. And so definitely key ideas, creativity coming in, as well as success in that, where you're implementing both your intuitive abilities with what you are working at this time. Okay. So that's what I have for you.
Well, that's awesome. And lastly, we have Ms. Jade. Jade is here with a 1-card reading. And I don't think Jade had a question. Was it General Jade? If you can just let us know in the comments.
She actually did mention it earlier. She said, question, a message about the significant love in my life. What do I need to know?
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. So Jade, first of all, about your significant other, what I have here is High Priestess. High Priestess is basically all about a marriage of the subconscious and conscious mind, about the light and dark, about polarity, about the knowledge that we have in our consciousness versus the secret knowledge we have in our subconsciousness. So there's like a very powerful High Priestess energy here. I would say the number one thing right now would be to explore polarity. So the things that have felt over time, you start to feel like, even with just friendships, but especially with romantic connections, you start to develop like this, okay, well, they normally really don't want to talk about this. Like they normally really don't want to talk about that or address that subject. And so it's almost like, without even meaning to censor yourself, you just sort of, you kind of tone something down a little bit. Now, by itself, in singularity, that's like, just using tact essentially. But when it starts to build up to a bunch of different things, then you're kept in sort of this purgatory state where there's a lot of things you want to explore and express, but it's almost like that will be viewed as way too light for this situation, or that will be viewed as way too dark for this situation. And with High Priestess, to me, it's almost like a challenge to you to step into your ultimate potential by not toning anything down, and by allowing yourself to express something from the point of view of light and to express it from the point of view of dark in a very sincere and direct way, like pure honesty, less focus on tact, not because you want to be like brutish and hurtful to someone, but because you speaking very directly and honestly is a form of respect you give to another person. And it's a way of basically revealing to them what it is you really love about yourself and what it is you want to be able to understand in them. So High Priestess is saying there's that, as far as a significant other, this is very much a journey about you at this moment, but actually that there's action to take through communication that will change you as a person. It will change the dynamic, but in kind of a beautiful way. So exploration of polarity, that's like the number one thing right now that I pick up.
All right, so what I got right away is the Two of Raphael, which is, again, look at the couple. It's the Two of Cups. All right, so usually to me, the Two of Cups has a more permanent or lasting connection than the Lover's card, in my opinion. Because it's more of like two souls coming together and merging deeply, like emotional connection, a deep emotional connection, more stable connection. Like you guys are actually merging. Like with the lovers, you see them positioned kind of like far away and they're like, okay, let's like agree to do stuff together. But with this, it's like they're merging. And so this is kind of like with your relationship, like Jack said, I am picking up a lot of like challenges, okay, to be yourself within a relationship, especially if your partner is going to be very, I would say, authoritative. In comparison to you, but it's because you feel like you have to reserve your authority, because you don't want to intimidate. And that's something that you're going to explore with this partnership, where you're going to be like, I'm going to be more open about what I don't like. Like I'm going to express that so that it can help with the way things are going in a relationship. And so this is definitely two people coming together to create something very wonderful and very lasting, as well as two kindred spirits, kind of like, oh, I like doing my own thing too, coming together and like agreeing pretty much to explore these aspects of themselves together. Okay, so it feels like there's going to be challenges, but don't give up on yourself, or don't give up on how the relationship is going to go. Okay, make sure you guys are communicating. That's the key, the biggest one right there. Okay, so that's what I got for you.
Since you wanted about the significant love of your life, I got the romance oracle card, and the underlying theme is your love. We got the King of Cups. I think the King of Cups is Aquaman in DC, but regardless, I think Aquaman's it. exaggerated version, but this is someone who's deep, compassionate, wise, stubborn as fuck, very, very possessive, but also very, 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 very deep in love. Like probably the master of love here. I don't know if this is someone who is new in your life because we have the Five of Swords. So looks like you guys don't like each other. I think this is one of those love bonds where both of you have a genuine attraction, but your personalities clash so much. There's been miscommunication between you two. So I don't know if this is someone new. I don't know if this is, I really get the sense you know this person already, or this is an archetype you're dealing with to resolve so that when this new person comes in, you don't go through this already. But I think this is someone who you're gonna have arguments with, at least at first, because like the respect and the attraction is there, but the way, I don't know if you have energy that clashes with Scorpio, because this is someone who's very deep and might take things more seriously than you may, or might take things a lot more to heart, and this is just going to arise a lot of miscommunication. But the miscommunication is actually necessary so that through the friction, you know how to really kind of adjust and acclimate your energies together. And the reason why I feel like this person you may already know is because we have reconciliation. Someone from your past is returning to your love life. So it looks like you need to go through the arguments so you can reconcile and have amazing makeup sex. And just
There you go.
enjoy.
There you go.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
That's awesome.
Funny.
now I'm complete.
All done.
All right, guys. Well, that timing's pretty perfect. I have to head off in 4 minutes from now, and we just finished the last person. So I am super excited. So thanks everybody for tuning in. Ari, I guess you should probably say the goodbye since it's your channel. I just remembered that while I was speaking.
We are, remember, we do have you as our media representative. Like you're the one that's gonna be out in the limelight answering questions, and me and Gemini are gonna be having fun over there with the models and stuff.
Oh yes.
Just kidding. So thank you guys so much for coming. We will try to do this weekly every time. YouTube, okay? So next time we're gonna do Jax's YouTube, hopefully. Are you gonna be fine? Go to Jax's channel and get him 1K views, please, you guys.
You guys can
Like,
help me
1K
get 1,000
followers.
subscribers. I will
Journey to 1,000.
Yeah, 1K, because then we can do this
Wait.
on his channel too, so that you guys have options to where we're going next. Okay.
Yeah.
So hopefully this week, if not, then we'll do it on mics. Okay. So we'll post that like a few days before. Okay. So I'll make sure these air signs are going to be like, okay, we're going to do it this time. Because I always ask. I'm the one always asking, hey, what time we got to do it? So what day?
I'm Virgo rising. I have plans.
Yes, exactly. All right, you guys, thank you so much. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Peace.